welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. This is our day 3 of the Multiply Yourself, Multiply Your Business Challenge. And I'm sure we've all had the thought at some point, man, if only I could clone myself and have a few of me to go around between being a mom and a business owner. And I know I sure like that idea. And I've thought about that a lot in my first 2 years in business. And I try really hard to do that by building a team. So this whole week is about teaching you different ways that you can multiply yourself. And today is about multiplying your peace of mind legally. So having the legal protections in place that you need to have peace of mind and know that you're covered and you have it done properly. And so it is my pleasure to introduce a friend of mine who is a very talented professional. I'm also a client of hers. She has, Christy Westerfeld is a licensed attorney in California, and she helped us with our website, help me, the legal website agreement. She knows the terms and conditions. See, I don't even know.
There you go. Disclaimer and privacy policy, yes.
Thank you. See, I should know that she's the pro here. So, and she's helped us with different contracts, and she's so wonderful to work with. And so she was
you're so sweet.
The first person I thought of when I wanted to share legal tips. I definitely wanted to go to her first. So without further ado, I want to introduce Christy and just a couple facts about her. Oh, is that your buddy? Is that your Grayson right there? Yay! Hi, buddy! I was hoping we'd get to see him. So this is her boy, and I'll let her talk about him. But she graduated top of her class in her law school, and she's one smart cookie. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Christy. Go for it.
You're so sweet. Yes, this is Grayson. He's 7.5 months old. Hi, Dad. And he's my first, and he's getting to the age where he's, grabbing everything and running a mile a minute. So if you see me lean over, it's because he's running away. But yes, thank you so much for that introduction. As Crystal said, I'm an attorney and legal resource for online entrepreneurs and coaches. So I specialize in providing legal protection and teaching all about legal protection to online business owners and specifically other mama business owners, as you can see from my life. So yeah, I want to just kind of quickly touch on, and Crystal, let me know if you want me to, and my cat, if you want me to talk more or less about a certain topic, if you see more things coming up, with the cat off the table. But I really want to talk about just kind of a couple of main points that I see happening a lot in the online world, and really how we can protect ourselves. Is that
yeah
good? Great. Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll open up for questions too. I know we told you to come with questions, so there will be time to ask Christy questions too. So
perfect. Yeah, so one of the main things that I really want to talk about is as an online business owner, we've got to, like Crystal was saying, we've got to get our website up to par, and then we've got to get our client agreement up to par. And there's kind of a couple different ways we can do that. The website, we need 3 things: the privacy policy, the terms and conditions, and the disclaimer. And really, I want to talk about these things, not necessarily just, drown you in legal information, because I know that can get boring, but really kind of the bigger purpose behind these things. So when we're talking about an online business, we typically have, our website is the hub of everything, right? So that's where we've got our programs, our packages, our offerings, our blog, everything that we have is going to be on our website. So it's really, really important to make sure that we're spending the time and the money to protect that website, right? Because that's where everything is coming from. Without that protection, we leave ourselves exposed not only to huge penalties and fines by not having the privacy policy in place, but we also risk not protecting our content, and we risk the potential of having to travel to anywhere in the world to defend our business against a claim made by a client in any other state or country. So really the purpose of these documents is to make sure that we are adequately setting up like a defense wall to our business, right? We're spending a lot of time and money and energy on building this business. A lot of us are working during nap times, or we're paying a nanny or a babysitter to watch our kids. We really want to put that time to good use, and we don't want to risk not having the right legal document in place and having that be a catastrophic mistake to our business. So that's really kind of the bigger picture behind this stuff, is that it's really important, and I think you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your business to adequately protect what you're building, because that's ultimately going to be what saves you and protects you as you're scaling and growing your business. So like I was talking about, we have the website documents. There's 3 things that go on there: the privacy policy, the terms and conditions, and the disclaimer. Those are really, really vital in operating your business. The privacy policy is something that's legally required as soon as you have the opportunity for someone to enter their email address, or as soon as your website becomes interactive in any way. Without the privacy policy on there, the fine is up to $2,500 per website visit without a privacy policy. So it's like kind of insane that you think about, okay, if one person comes to my website without that privacy policy, it's up to $2,500. 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Sometimes we have hundreds of people a day coming to our website, right? So without the privacy policy in place, it can become like a crazy astronomical fee that is fixable by like a $200 privacy policy. Or in our case, with the Multiply Mama program, it's included within the package. You can get a privacy policy. The other documents, the disclaimer and the terms and conditions, these documents, you're not going to be fined for not having them, but there's a really, really big importance for having them in terms when we talk about business protection. So the disclaimer is going to be the document where we tell people that everything we're talking about on our website is meant as just general information, right? So we're not necessarily providing personalized advice. What we're saying on our websites might not be right for every single person that comes across our website. And you want people to kind of use a level of common sense when they're reading our blog posts, especially if we're in the health and wellness space, or if we're talking about, specific tips. It may not be right for everybody. Not everyone that comes to our site is going to be an ideal client. So the disclaimer is really meant to protect you against like that rando that comes to your website, takes your advice, and then says, well, because of you, I, insert whatever craziness happens. And they want to hold you responsible for it. The disclaimer is what's going to protect you from people like that. And then the other document, your website terms and conditions, the really, really important piece is a couple things. Number one is you're protecting your intellectual property. So when we've got our website terms and conditions in place, we are telling people that we own the content on our website, and that they're not able to use it without our permission. The other really, really important piece from our terms and conditions is something called a dispute resolution paragraph. And because, like we were talking about, because your clients can be located all over the world, another state, another country, whatever, that's a good thing typically, right? Because we can have clients all over. Our business is exposed to, millions of people. But the downside is that if someone wants to file a claim against our business, chances are they can do that where they are located, not where we are located. So say you have a client in Spain, or even someone who looks at your website in Spain, and then they decide they want to file a claim, they're going to do it there. And you're going to have to go there and defend yourself in that court with those laws. So the way we prevent that is by what's called the dispute resolution paragraph in our terms and conditions. It's a really, really important piece to kind of protecting our business. So that's really what goes on our website. And then the other piece that I wanted to talk about quickly is the client agreement. And this document is really important, as many people know. This is really the main document for when you're going to be working with a client. A lot of times I see people try to draft this themselves or take it from someone else, or kind of piece agreement based on 3 other people's agreements they've seen. I really, really don't recommend doing that. I recommend, getting it done correctly, getting one done for your business. It's okay to use a template as long as that template's drafted by an attorney who knows this industry, and that you have access to really the attorney that drafted it, but a attorney to make sure it's right for your business. So drafting it yourself or copying it from someone else is not a good idea. Trying to draft it yourself, there's a really good chance you're going to miss something. So you're going to be, just because, nothing against you, no offense, but just because you didn't go to law school, right? I wouldn't know how to draft, a different type. I wouldn't know how to do a dental procedure. Doesn't mean I'm stupid. It just means I didn't go to dental school, right? Like, it's not my area. It's not my area of expertise. So I don't recommend drafting it yourself, because you're going to miss something, and it's not going to appropriately protect your business. So you're going to try to cut a corner that could ultimately cost you a lot in the long run. The other reason why I don't recommend copying from someone else or trying to piece something together is there's a good chance you're committing copyright infringement by doing that, because you're taking someone else's work, even though we might not think of it as artistic, right? It's a boring legal document, but it still qualifies for content protection. So by taking it without permission, there's a good chance you're committing copyright infringement. So we want to avoid that. And then the other thing, like I was talking about, is every business is, is that funny? Every business is individual. So we may not be using, we might not have the right language in there if we're trying to draft it ourselves or using something from someone else. What the program that we're selling, there's a good chance it's not going to protect our, specific program. So we need our client agreement to be not only drafted by an attorney who knows this space, but we also need it to be something that we can confirm that it's going to work for our programs. And so that's really the reason, or the importance behind, oh, thank you for pulling down my shirt. The importance, gotta love kids, right? Of the client agreement. So that's really kind of in a nutshell the important pieces that I wanted to talk about when we're running an online business. The website coverage, and then the client agreement. And then really it's important to be able to, I think it's a great thing to be able to check in with an attorney or chat with them, say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Am I covered? Or, I'm using this template. Here's what I'm doing. Can you help me tweak this paragraph? Or, can you add in this language? And just be able to confirm that what you're doing is going to, or what you're using is going to work for your business.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. And so we just finished working with Christy to have the agreement set up for this program. I'm going to open up now my screen and share with you. Hi, buddy. Oh, he's so cute. I'm going to share with you. Oh, what are some of his tricks he's doing? You said that he's starting to get into things.
Oh, reaching, grabbing, all of the, he'll have a room full of toys and he wants my phone or my computer. But we love him. He just started sleeping well, thank God. So he's getting extra cuddles from me because Mama is well rested for once.
Cool. So on Friday, we're going to be opening up the wonderful women that you're hearing from this week. They have put together packages of their services, and you get to pick any 3 that you need in your business. So so you have all these different options, but the 3 things that Christy's offering, I wanted to let her, she's talked about them a little bit, but I want her to share just a little bit more about, is everybody able to see this my screen? See this picture of her? And okay, hopefully you can. So tell us about the 3 packages that you're offering, Christy.
Yeah, so I kind of touched on the importance, but there's 3 packages: the client agreement package, the website legal coverage package, and then the legal consultation package. So the client agreement package, you're going to get my client agreement template, and there's 3 different options. There's one for business coaches and entrepreneurs. There's also one specifically for health and wellness coaches, and then there's one for people in the technology and design space. So depending on what type of business you are running, I will be able to match what you're doing with one of my templates. And then from there, we can talk about, like I was talking about, the importance of having someone confirm it's right for your business. So we'll start with my template, and then I'll work with you to make sure it works for what you're doing. We can add things, take things out, tweak things to make sure it fits what you are doing. So for everyone that purchases the client agreement package or selects that package, you'll walk away with an airtight client agreement for the program that you are running, as well as the knowledge on how to tweak it yourself for any future programs that you do. So you won't kind of every time you're doing a program, you won't have to wonder, am I protected for this? Am I protected for that? It'll just be, you'll know that you're protected. And then the other package, the website legal coverage package, you're going to get there the privacy policy and the terms and conditions. So you'll be able to have peace of mind knowing you're not going to be fined by the FTC. And then you're also going to be able to protect your website and the content and that dispute resolution paragraph like we talked about. So you're not going to have to go to another country or state to defend yourself if a website visitor decides that they would like to file a claim against you. And then the third package, the legal consultation package, is really just an opportunity for you to ask questions. So like we talked about, what's up, buddy? Sometimes you just have a couple questions, and you're like, maybe you have some of these documents, you're not sure if they're right for your business, or, you're running a new program, you're not sure if the new program, is covered by the agreement you have, or you just want to ask a couple questions. So the legal consultation package is just access to me, and you can ask any questions you want. We can go over anything you want. And it's really your time to get any of your legal questions answered.
Well, and that's a good segue right now, Christy, that we can open up. So those that are on the line right now, if you have a burning question for Christy, now is a good time to ask it, and we can all benefit from it. So you're welcome to speak up, and the screen will go to you. But yeah, go ahead. I'll turn this over to you to ask a question.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone have any questions? I think I was trying to think, Crystal, if there's anything else while we're waiting to see if anyone has any questions, if there's anything else I wanted to cover or anything else that would be beneficial to talk about. But I think, again, I would just echo kind of what I talked about in the beginning, which is, we're all running, either starting or building or running businesses, and likely juggling kids, in some capacity, whether they're babies or shuttling people to soccer practice. Your time is valuable, right? And you don't want to have to spend any more time than you need to, away from your kids, away from your family. You certainly don't want to be dealing with a legal battle, someone suing your business, or dealing with an issue that could have been resolved by having one of these documents in place. And that's really, the reason behind my business, the reason why I do what I do, and the reason why I'm so excited to be part of the Multiply Mama program, is because I want to help you guys, have peace of mind, like we talked about, and be able to sleep well at night, unless your baby keeps you up, knowing that your business is protected and you're not putting yourself and your family at risk by running this business without the right protections in place.
Thank you. So I have a question for you. So when you were talking about um, someone who maybe took the initiative to piece together a few different contracts and they came up with their own agreement, if they currently have that in place with clients, but they feel like maybe it needs to be looked over, is that something you could help them with to rewrite it? Like what should they do if they currently don't feel comfortable with what
Yeah, I would suggest selecting the client agreement package if that's where you're at. You can also select the legal consultation package. But typically what ends up happening when I review a document is that the time it would take to fix it ends up being more expensive than just starting over with my template and personalizing it to you. But if someone has a template that they think is good, they just want it reviewed, I can certainly do that with the legal consultation package. But again, I've almost never had it happen where we haven't ultimately ended up just going with my template, not because I want everyone to use my template. If what they have is working for them, then, that's all I care about. But it typically when someone is worried about it, your intuition is right. There's a reason you're worried about it. And there's a reason that your gut's kind of telling you, like, I don't think, I don't think this is right. Typically when when your gut's telling you that, there's probably a reason. So if that's the case, then I would explore the client agreement package. And like I said, we can, I'm happy to review what you currently have with that, and or start over with one of mine and personalize it to you. But the client agreement package could certainly be just reviewing the one that you have too.
Cool. Okay, we've got more of you out there. Anyone else want to take advantage of asking a legal question? I can come up with more questions too, but I know all of your time is valuable, so it looks like we'll be able to even wrap up a little bit early. But
Cool.
I guess let's see. I'm curious, Christy. So when you shared about, I'm sure that you have some case studies from law school, but I'd love to hear, like, when you say, like, it almost sounds to me like this idea of $2,500 per visit to your website. I'm like, I believe you, but it just sounds kind of outrageous. So I'm just kind of curious of some case studies when people have been fined. Like, what does that look like, and what happened? Like, can you think of any? And again,
Yeah.
this is like totally off the cuff here. I'm genuinely curious about it.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm glad you asked that. So, yes, in the recent past, Facebook and Google have been dinged for this. So typically it's, what we're seeing is it's typically larger companies, obviously, that's drawing the FTC's attention. With Facebook, it wasn't that they didn't have a privacy policy in place, it was that it was misleading or not complete. Which when we're dealing with online privacy laws, of course, as most of you can probably understand, online privacy laws are very, very strict. When we're dealing with taking people's personal information online, things like identity theft, privacy issues, they're really, really cracking down on that. And I know sometimes people don't think about it, but when you're taking someone's email address in exchange for a freebie, like, that's not unlike someone entering their credit card information on a sketchy website, and I'm not saying your websites are sketchy, but it's looked at similarly. Personal information is personal information, whether it's your email address or whether it's your social security number. And what they want to see is that you're doing something to protect that information. You've got safeguards in place. You're not selling it to people. That's another big thing, is taking personal information and passing it on to advertisers. They want to make sure that you're not selling it to people. So kind of as a pre-answer to your question, it seems a little bit dramatic because, there are very, very strict regulations in place for our protection, to make sure people aren't able to just sell our social security numbers online. I know it happens, but there's punishments and things in place to make sure that people aren't doing that all the time. So typically we see issues with bigger companies like Facebook and like Google, although recently there's been a coaching company that got hit really hard by the FTC for, it was a big company, for claiming that they were going to provide certain services, and then failing to provide those services essentially. And the penalty was in the millions.
Wow.
So it was a big company. It wasn't just like, one woman selling her coaching services, but in my opinion, I think that goes to show that they're on to us. Like, they're on to the coaching industry. They know that this is a thing. They know that online coaching, is really a free for all. And because we saw that, recently that they kind of made an example out of that one coaching business. I'm not, who's to say that they won't kind of trickle down and say, all right, well, what else is happening in this coaching industry? Who else can we make an example of? So it's really, typically for right now, it's the bigger companies that are getting slammed by this, but breaking the rules is breaking the rules. So there's no, whether you have one client or 1 million clients, if you're not complying, they might look at it just the same.
And you're still opening yourself up to risk. And I love your approach with this, Christy, that it's not that you're trying to be like a fear monger, or like, it's more just when you like those that are prepared shall not fear. Like, when you put the protections in place, you just don't even have to think about it, and you don't. Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's like why this is called peace of mind, right? Like, I can't. So many clients come to me and they say, you know what, like, I lay awake at night thinking about, 20 clients have signed this agreement and I have no idea if it protects me. Like, they don't know what any of the language in it means. They just found it online and they're wondering, okay, I made a good amount of money this month. Is that at risk? Like, what am I doing wrong here? Some people build 6-figure businesses very quickly and then they turn around and lose it all because of one client, when they could have just put the right protections in place. And I don't say that from a place of fear, but from a place of, let's do this right the first time. And then, don't let it be something that, you end up in this legal battle. Like I said, taking time away from your family, taking time away from your business, and losing money, So it's just one of those things that you, like car insurance or homeowners insurance, something that you do it, you pay the initial fee, treat it like a startup cost, and then you never have to worry about it again.
Cool. We just got 2 minutes, so I want to wrap this up, but thank you so much, Christy, for your time. And thank you for joining us, little Grayson. He's so cute, and we're the mama under here. We're all about that. So
he's very loud and into movement these days. So sorry about all the chasing, but
no apologies. Yep. Yeah, it's great. And thank you everyone for joining us too. And we'll see you tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be talking about multiplying your team, and then on Friday we'll talk about multiplying your revenue. And that day, on the 23rd, so in 2 days, is when we open up our Multiply Mama team, and you can work with Christy or one of the others. So yeah, you can get help at really a very affordable package, and I'm just so excited that we could all collaborate to bring this to you. So thanks everybody, and we'll wrap it up. Any last words, Christy?
I don't think so. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be in this program, and I can't wait to work with everybody.
Cool. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.